everybody, and this is going to be an exciting session. This is next in business, entrepreneurship. What is it that the world is looking at when it comes to the new experiences, the trends that at this point of time are in focus? And it's important to note over here that there are three disruptors in their respective markets, in their respective industries that have brought about this massive change, pioneering the very basis on which their industries have then followed them. They have led the path in the truest form. Let me quickly introduce you to all of them. On the next forum with me is Mr. Varun Choudhary. He's the Managing Director of CG Corp Global and CG Corp Hospitality Holdings. I also have with me Mr. Sabbas, and Mr. Sabbas Joseph is the co-founder and director of Wizcraft Group. On the right-hand side is Dr. Annurag Batra, chairman and editor-in-chief of Businessworld, BW Businessworld. So what is it that these gentlemen have done that have disrupted the market? Let's take a look at Varun Choudhary. Varun, you started off young and you got into the industry head-on. And the one key feature that brought about this transformation in the company and put it in the global map was the YY noodles. And that was the brainchild of you, right? And here, Sabbas, is, this particular event at this point in time is on the strong shoulders of Sabbas's Wizcraft Group. He is well known for his huge events that have been massive successes, whether it is IFA, whether we talk about Film Fair, we talk about Femina. So those are brands that he has built from the scratch and are now renowned across the globe. Dr. Batra over here has been a pioneer, a disruptor when it comes to the journalism industry, and he has brought about into focus personalities from all spheres of life, whether it is business, innovators, educators, and he has put light on all the focuses that have to be brought in terms of disrupting the market, in terms of growing the market and being a market leader. So let's start off, Varun, with you. This industry that you come from, legacy of 150 years, your grandfather, your father, your brother, they are all stalwarts in their own right. And you were telling me the story just a few moments ago that, you were 20 years old, you finished, you were in class 12, and then you headed to Dubai, and it was a holiday, and how you seized the opportunity, and it became your first real estate venture. If you could tell us about that.
Well, can you hear me? Okay. First of all, I want to thank Karthiki ji, who's sitting there, for giving me the opportunity to actually be a part of this great event. I wish you all the best. Sitting here with my very dear friend, Sabbas. I've known him for years. Legend in his industry, also Anurag. Mega, good memory. Brief conversation, but you picked up the right chord. Right after my boards, when I passed out of Doon School, I decided to go to Dubai. That 3-day holiday trip converted into a business trip where I realized that if there's anywhere in the world that I want to live, it's actually Dubai. So Dubai became my business school. I learned the business ropes and I learned to swim in the sea full of sharks in Dubai. So experience actually taught me the rules of the business. I went to America after that for 2 years, but I was so hungry to come back and work. I decided to come back to Dubai. I used to work from 9 to 6, and 6 to 10 at night, I used to go to my college. That's how I finished my education as well. I took over the YY business in 17, 18. That's when I moved to India. And I saw the opportunity which India actually gave us. For me, it was India on one side, rest of the world on the other side. And the opportunity I saw in India, we've actually, we're number 2 in India now. We're market leaders in East and Northeast. We've got about 13 plants already in India. And from India, we've already grown out to 50 different countries. So we are in Kazakhstan, Serbia, Bangladesh, now in Egypt. It's actually the whole thesis of being at the right time, at the right place. And I feel that the India story has just begun. And I'm happy to be a part of this wave. I'm happy to ride this wave, and I'm hoping to do much more than we've also just started to do. So that's the little bit of the YY story, and also just to add 2 bits to it, YY is actually a brand which is built by the college and the boarding school kids. It's a brand which is been built typically on word of mouth, and that's how the word of mouth spread globally. Happy to be a part of this brand. The brand started by my father. Happy to add my 2 cents on taking the legacy forward. Thank you.
Absolutely. A round of applause for Varun. And Sabbas, your story is very interesting as well. From a journalist to the owner of the biggest event management company. Tell us about how did you create the brands? What was the idea behind it? And how were you able to disrupt the market in such a massive way?
First, good evening, everybody. And you've been really an awesome audience to be here, despite the exciting things in the city. And I hope that together we can add some excitement to your lives today. Thank you, Karthik, and thank you, NewsX team. I think you've really disrupted the space of conferences today. And I think the best acknowledgement came from the Honorable Prime Minister to all of you for what you put together. And thank you and congratulations. I was a journalist a few decades ago. And it seems like an ancient story because I started very, very young. But having said that, went out to interview 2 of my friends, who weren't my friends at that point, just to do a story, which I didn't really want to do. They were opening a nightclub in Mumbai, and their friends wanted me to promote it. I went there with great reluctance, but ended up building a friendship and a bond. The 3 of us went on to start Wizcraft in 1988, more for fun, to be able to create something that would give us happiness, while each of us continued our regular work. So in our moonlighting, we ended up discovering an industry. So we weren't really disruptors, but probably the creators or the harbingers or the first movers of what became an industry. So when we started in 1988, there was no event management company in India. And it took years for us to explain to everybody what event management was all about. Of course, it took over our lives. And event management came into really what it was when we did things like the Michael Jackson show, when Mr. Bachchan did Miss World. And for the years that we worked with the Times of India group and developed the Filmfare and Femina Awards. That was the staple diet. Till one day in 2000, we decided to create the IFA Awards and say, with this, we're going to take India to the world, Indian cinema to the world. So I think your disruption idea is a story that really makes things happen, changes the way people think, and changes the way the rivers itself flow. So today, 25 years later, in a week from now, we will be celebrating the 25 years of IFA. And the IFA Awards in the last 25 years have traveled across 14 countries. Jaipur would be the 19th city, unique city, and it would be for the first time really that a full-fledged IFA weekend and IFA Awards would be happening in India, 3.5 hours away from this city. Fantastic. So it's really something that we're very happy about, to be celebrating IFA in India and telling the world India is ready for you. Come visit and be part of the India story.
Absolutely. That's a fantastic success story, and more power to you, more power to Wizcraft. I also have with me Dr. Batra. Let's understand from you, Dr. Batra, how did the story of BW Businessworld start?
See, Megha, first of all, congratulations to Mr. Karthikeya Sharma and the ITV group for putting this together. I did have a conversation with Mr. Sharma more than 10 years back, more like 11, where he discussed this idea. and look at the way it has fanned out. I saw online what the Prime Minister said. So clearly, as my friend Sabbas says, that the scale at which this has been done, executed, is really fantastic, and I'm sure it'll only grow bigger and bigger. Now, I just want to say, first of all, I feel I have a long way to go. I'm a lot of work in progress, and I say it with absolute honesty and humility. I just want to say three things. I have a lot of work to do in BW Businessworld. I read this book about 6 weeks back, and it's called Fluke by Dr. Brian Klass, Klass. And it says basically we give too much credit to ourselves for our success. We should take all the blame for our failures. But success happens because of random things. And the moment I read about that, I said, that's so true. And so, first of all, I believe I'm a lot of work in progress. There's a lot to do. Second, I believe everything happens because God has a plan, serendipity, coincidence, chance, whatever you want to say. Because there are a lot of things that we work on, they don't happen. Some things we put very little effort and it happens. So there is something in the universe. And I really believe that. And you know, my friend, Mr. Sharma knows that I do believe there are stalwarts in the domain. Mr. Ravi is there, Mr. Shankar Sharma is there, Mr. Ashish Chauhan is there, Cherian is there. I really have a long way to go. But I do want to say that there are three rules for business that I think. One is there is a late mover advantage in everything. We used to talk about a first mover advantage. I think in any business, if you start late, you don't have to spend the money that the pioneer has spent, at least in failures, because you're making the market. I mean, Sabbas is truly a pioneer, building IFA and the experiential domain. IFA is an IP that is possibly the biggest IP India has in every aspect. And hopefully this year, for the first time, Sabbas will invite me to IFA, so I'm sure I will show up this year. And my family has already made demands on passes, so I'm glad I met you, so I will talk to you off stage. So first thing I'm saying is serendipity rules. Second thing I'm saying is clearly you have to look at things differently. Even if you're a late mover, you're not the first mover, there's a first mover advantage. Second, you have to learn from other industries. A lot of what is happening in other domains is relevant. For example, I keep thinking, before Businessworld, I was lucky enough to do exchange for media, right? And I keep talking to Naval, who's my partner, that Naval, we knew all brands, but we couldn't build an e-commerce business because we never thought about it. We did content much ahead of everyone, but we didn't think of a podcasting platform. So clearly, if we had observed other industries, we would have. So first is, being late in any business can be good, because it saves you the cost. Second is, you learn from other businesses. Third, you're always a work in progress. Fourth, no business is unimpacted by technology. We're talking of AI. Media business is truly impacted by technology. Today, there are technology companies which do content. X is an example, Meta is another. In our business, the way content is being created will change. You know that there are AI anchors, there are bots. I heard Ravi sir talking about future of money, so I won't give away. But he was talking to someone and talking about bots. Last thing I want to say, the more the digital grows, the value of human touch, face-to-face. I mean, we could have done this on Zoom or on television. But the fact is, we are doing it Bharat Mandapam. The Prime Minister came, we all are there. The value of human touch will grow. So the more digital grows, the value of human touch grows. And last point, the world will belong to super specialists. And I want to give you an example from content. We are starting in Exchange for Media a new marketing tech website, a community, we don't call it a website. And we are not even linking it like Next is part of ITV Group, but it's Next. Something like that we are starting. And I sent a mail to my two colleagues who are heading it, the business colleague and I sent him the newsletter of a friend's son. His name is Devansh. And he has an AI newsletter which is subscribed by 100,000. So you can subscribe it, his paid newsletter or his free newsletter. I mean, he has 100,000 paid subscribers. Satya Nadella is a subscriber. Now, is he a media company or not? So the definition of every business is changing. What is an edutech business? An edutech business is content and subscribers paying for it. So we all have to redefine. Mr. Shankar Sharma is there, Mr. Shiv Sharma is there, and this business of stock investing, I know the stock market is down. I mean, isn't StockTwits a media company? So the way you define your business will need to change. You have to define it narrowly, and you also have to compete with broader players. That's what I'd say.
Okay, I'm going to quickly come to you, Varun. And you know, you've spoken about your success story and the disruptor that you have been in the market. What's the future?
Well, like I said, the future of the FMCG industry, for sure, the consumer sector is very, very bright. And like I said, you know, I'm banking on the bright future at the macro level of the country. We've got the Prime Minister, who's such a visionary person. You know, I think in the last 5 days, I've already had the opportunity to meet him twice. And whenever you meet someone like him, your sense of confidence gets renewed. And when he talks about such minute details, like today, he was talking about haldi, how haldi has actually become 60% exporter to the global market. So the way he thinks, I'm sure the country is in the right hands. And looking at YY, like I said, you know, we have plans of going listing. I think the next big thing for us definitely will be taking it an IPO. Yeah.
Sabbas, now, again, a very important question. You've been in the market. You have set the bar. How do you keep competition at bay?
The day you look at competition as competition, that's the day you're struggling to survive. I think for us, we've always seen what others see as competition as collaboration. Because each of us push each other to go to the next limit. You're pushing the limits, you're pushing the boundaries, and you're using each other and probably standing on the shoulders of the other to be able to move forward. So that's the way I look at it. Yes, the only way to really change and really able to move forward in multiple counts, and that's what trend is look at how can you bring about change, how can you change the experience of people. Are you making it easier for them? Are you making it tastier? Are you making it, are you enhancing it in entertainment or information or whatever? What is the value that you're adding to people's lives? I think the only businesses that will do well and the only businesses that will survive and prosper are the ones that add value to the consumer and change the experience that they've seen before. And I hope that we can keep doing that and keep powering forward.
Okay, all right. On that note, I'm out of time. I thank all of you for joining me.